Welcome to your Cohesion Classroom. In this lesson, we will take a look at classifying odd and even numbers through 25. At the end of this video, you'll have access to our tips and takeaways, allowing you to focus on the content being presented. You can always access any of our tips and takeaways from the lesson page before or after watching the lesson. In this lesson, students will determine if a given number is odd or even. Students will be given a set of objects represented with a picture, most likely a tens frame or cube train, then asked if the number represented is odd or even. To determine if objects are odd or even, students will be looking for pairs or partners. If each number or cube can be put in pairs, the number is even. The number is odd if there is a number or cube that is left out and does not have a pair or partner. Students will be asked to write an equation using double stacks to represent even numbers. Students most likely had exposure to classifying even and odd numbers in previous first grade lessons. Let's take a look at an example where we identify if a number is even or odd. Students will typically see a question and visual like this with the following directions. Identify if the number is even or odd. Students will most likely have the number and 10 frame given to them. Students may need to fill in the tens frame on their own. If students are filling in their tens frame on their own, encourage them to fill them in pairs. Fill in one from the top row and then one from the bottom row. This will help to visually see the pairs when identifying if the given number is even or odd. In this example, we have the number 13 represented in two tens frames. We can see that the first tens frame is completely filled in, showing that each box has a pair or a partner. Looking at the second tens frame, we can see that there is one pair, and then there is one box filled in without a partner. Students may benefit from circling the pairs as they go. We can identify that the number 13 is odd because not every box has a pair. Students will record odd as the answer to the question. That is how students identify if a number is even or odd. Now let's take a look at an example that represents an even number. Identify if the number is even or odd. In this example, we have the number 18 represented in two tens frames. We can see that the first tens frame is completely filled in, showing that each box has a pair or a partner. Looking at the second tens frame, we can see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs. Again, students may benefit from circling the pairs as they go. We can identify that the number 18 is even because every box has a partner. Students will record even as the answer to the question. Students then may be asked to identify a double stack to go along with the visual. The double stack for 18 is 9 plus 9. Students will record 9 plus 9 equals 18. That is how students identify if a number is even. A common error occurs when students need to fill in their own tens frames to identify if a number is even or odd. Students may fill in tens frames from left to right to fill in an entire row before going to the next row, which is generally more natural for them instead of in pairs. Then students cannot visually see the pairs clearly. Encourage students to fill in the tens frames from top to bottom. If students become fluent with identifying numbers that are even or odd using a visual, students can begin to recognize a pattern. 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 are even. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are odd. Once students recognize this pattern, they can begin to identify if any given number is even or odd more efficiently. When looking at any number, students can identify the number in the ones column as even or odd, which will determine if the number is even or odd. To gain a full understanding of this concept, visit the lesson page to view the rest of the Number Concepts set of lessons. Uniting students and families in learning, we are Cohesion Education. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.